Here's Gibson to start the drive. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Gibson again. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. And that's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
3rd and 1. Howell's going to throw it. Got this complete to Jahan Dotson. And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, partner, that's the start that you want right there. And you know he spent the entire offseason throwing hundreds, I'd probably say thousands of passes, getting ready for that moment. The first throw of the new season. He's dreamed about it, thought about it, and now it's out of the way.
1 for 1, a lot more to go. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. Well, first drive here and the first time that we've called a big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter because that'll draw the deep.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. And the Eagles are going to get possession here as they force the opening drive turnover. They may have thrown the interception, obviously less than ideal, but I think they also sent a message that they're going to push the ball downfield in this one.
Yeah, not afraid to take their shots right away, huh? What was that, like a 9-9-9 route? 9 meaning go? Just went ahead and went for it. Didn't work out so well because it certainly appeared the defense was prepared. But I'm with you. Okay, so it didn't work this time. Doesn't mean we won't try it again later.
And they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. Running right, here's Sanders. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And it goes a loss of a yard, and it'll settle 3rd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Can't imagine all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Herbert wants to throw it on 3rd and 1. Wide open receiver complete. He's going to pick up the first down and then some. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play. Hey, they made no bones about it. They wanted to throw this rookie right into the fire, see what he could do. He shows what he can do there.
And you have to really put the time and effort in because playing a receiver in the NFL is a difficult task. And for a rookie, all that you have to learn to get on the same page with your quarterback, that's excellent coaching, and how about how he's picked things up?
Picking things up in a big way with a big play in his NFL debut. Herbert. That's swung out wide to Sanders. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you.
And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down.
That's a mound of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
And it's caught. Touchdown. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Eagles are on the board here first in the season opener. Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
2nd and 10, Howell. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. That sack courtesy of the effort of Hassan Reddick. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them, and they took advantage of it there. Got a nice interception and set up their offense in great shape.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and that will bring up 2nd down. They'll run the jet sweep with Brown. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Well, they gave up a few yards there, but all in all, I think it's a pretty nice job defensively against the jet sweep. If they don't slow him up, he might take it to the house, so they'll take that play every time on the defensive side of the ball.
Touchdown, Eagles! Dallas Goedert, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Eagles are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. Elliott good with a PAT, and it's now 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. They'll start on the ground with Gibson. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. On that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Howell from the gun. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
And he's only hit on 2 of his first 6 passes. Time for a quick quarterback regroup here with a big 3rd down coming up.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Howell throwing on 3rd down here. That is caught by Josh Oliver, the former San Jose State Spartan. Give him 30 yards there.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
They'll send a receiver here in motion right. On 2nd and 12, Howell. This pass hauled in by Dotson. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
Robinson will try to pick it up, and he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. Give him the third down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it here. Why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. Back to Robinson now on first down. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now they go play action with Howell. Sliding out of the pocket. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first. A toss left side for Gibson. And he's in. Touchdown, Commanders. Antonio Gibson taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Commanders have cut it back within a score. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll make our score 14-7. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this? He's got a man, complete. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. A give running left. It's Sanders. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Give him maybe a yard. Quite the opposite from the previous big gainer.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle. And that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
Trucks over him. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And a short gain here down to the 22. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On 2nd and 9, Herbert. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
What we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Back-to-back incompletions of what was once a nice drive. Stalled out here. I'm going to give credit to the secondary partner. Never gave up as they gave up a few yards, and they came through on that play to deny that pass and force the 4th down.
So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about one-score lead, two-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. So they tried to take the deep shot there, but this defense up to the task.
And a lot of times when you air a ball out like this, if it does get intercepted, there's going to be a lot of space out there to set up a return. And remember, you've got 5 big offensive linemen out there playing on their feet in open space.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And the Commanders are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line.
Well, Brandon, as they say in popular culture, this one's going to leave a mark because they can see the end zone, but it'll stay out of reach because of their error. All their offensive teammates have to give the quarterback right now, offer a little bit of encouragement because what's done is done. Let's get him next time out.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Faking the handoff, Howell. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. 3rd and long, here's Howell. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Greedy Williams picks it off. And the Eagles are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. Well, CD, you know, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, and instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football while we look at the...
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. William Jackson with a pick. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football.
So first thing that crossed my mind is why didn't they just sit on the lead and take it to the locker room? They're in good shape.
Absolutely. And from this spot on the field, now you've given the other side a chance for points here going into intermission.
Yeah, you changed the momentum of the game, and it's something you did not need to do.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. They'll set up the screen for Gibson. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Howell. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Throwing here, Howell. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. So we've reached halftime here in our initial Sunday night telecast of the new season, as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. We'll see if week one fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Second half will start with a run by Sanders. And some room to run now. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
55 rushing yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. From Commanders territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 41. On the move to his left. Going deep here for Watkins. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Elliott on for the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This taken in at the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And their halftime hole now even deeper. They need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Howell. And my goodness, another interception. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead is now 24. So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he returns this to the 22. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right. And now here is another interception. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tartt. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is a team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes that's a danger putting that jumbo set out there. You just get a lot of bodies massed in one location. You could wind up with 18, 20, maybe even all 22 in the box, and there's nowhere to run the football.
2nd down, back to Sanders. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
He's got the 1st down and more. Touchdown! Well, Charles, no matter what the prognosticators say before the season, whether they think you're going to be good, bad, or somewhere in the middle, you never quite know how week one is going to play out. But for them, it has been an impressive performance, and they are well on their way to a 1-0 start.
Yeah, it's a lot like opening up presents, isn't it, partner? You're not quite sure what's inside, but you're hopeful, right? In this case, exactly what they were looking for, exactly what they need.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual. Just what they need, a lecture from me, but subpar offense is what helped get them into this spot. And now they're continuing to trend with incompletions. That won't get them out of it if they don't change something soon.
Got an open man, finds Gibson. And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Howell throwing on first down here. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. So a great play there for this highly regarded linebacker, making his first career sack.
And his versatility on display right there. Look, we've known him primarily as a tackler and a cover man, but he can go get the quarterback when the situation calls.
He's got a man, complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. It's a gain of 35. Now look, you're not going to be able to get this all back at once, but that certainly helps.
So you're saying 3 yards in the cloud of dust, not the strategy?
I go aerial attack.
Yeah, I think that's what has to happen. And if you're going to run it, you need to break off big chunks. We just saw a big play.
Now the defense, they get to Howell. He'll go down here. That's big Jordan Davis powering in to drop him.
Oh, man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
To try again after the sack. Howell. And my goodness, another interception. Adrian Amos with a pick. And the Eagles will take over possession here up at the 44. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the third quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day. They're trying to...
Taking it right down Broadway. 20. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders, 56 yards. And the Eagles are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Elliott good with a PAT. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
Commanders 7. Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Taken at the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half.
At this point in the game and the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
Back to throw, Howell. And now here is another interception. With that interception, he just set a record that nobody ever wants to set, and that's the most picks ever in an NFL game. Eight.
The last time we saw 7 in 2001, right?
Yeah. Ty Detmer.
He's with the Lions at that time. To get to 8, are we sure he knows what color jerseys his team's wearing in this one?
I don't know. It has not been good. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Another run here with Sanders. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so that you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated into week 1 because they have not been particularly competitive here at home, no less. These fans just kind of beside themselves right now. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Second down throw for Howell. Winds up and lets it go for Samuel. It got his man complete. Touchdown, Washington. So still throwing here in the fourth quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And this has been quite a performance to kick off the new year on the road, no less, as they try to finish things off here in the fourth quarter. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. Oh, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. The Eagles send out their punter now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. This is taken at about the 14. Call that one an even 60 yards. 6-0. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And no doubt this is not the way that they had hoped to open their season. Thoroughly outplayed here in front of the national audience. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Straight ahead, Gibson. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. From the gun on 3rd down, Howell. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Completes it to Samuel. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. First down, Howell to throw. He'll let this go for the end zone. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Adrian Amos with a pick. And the Eagles are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. 2nd down, back to Sanders. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. 131 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. It carries like that. That's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Up big here in the 4th quarter, up really big. That passing incomplete. I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points, but they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Commanders will take over, but backed up deep in their own territory. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tartt. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. CD, this defense, man, at this rate, they're just having fun out there right now.
And normally with this type of a lead, if you're a starter on defense, you're saying, hey, let the other guys play. But with this going on, no one wants to come out of the game. They all want their shot at picking off a pass.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Now Sanders. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Well, CD, I mean, simply put, if anyone around the league wasn't paying attention to them to start the season, they will be heading into week 2. This has been an impressive week 1 performance.
They've certainly announced that they are ready to go, haven't they? They wanted to send a message out to the rest of the league. You better put your eyes on us. We may be someone you have to reckon with.
The Commanders take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Powell to the air on 1st and 10. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is caught. A huge play there for Washington. And even 50 yards. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
They'll run with Robinson, and he is going to lose yardage here. Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game.
They had 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. Again, it'll be Robinson. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
So the toss play effective, even down here near the goal line.
Yeah, and you're hoping the defense commits too many men to stop the run in the middle of the field and that your blockers can gain a little bit of an advantage. And when they do, foot race to the pylon, and this time he had the speed to win that race.
Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, but he opted for the touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They came into this one with a vision, Charles, and it has played out exactly as they had hoped, if not even better. They've got the huge lead here, and now the football for the final moments of the 4th.